Love it when say I'm live. It means I'm alive, and I'm here talking to you today about the Nordstrom culture. Hi, I'm Paul. My company is Discover Genius, wanting to know that you are a genius. And in fact, if there's any genius in this world today that we can see and call out, it's the Nordstrom culture. It's absolutely genius. The Nordstrom culture is renowned for its customer service, extreme customer service, giving people what they want and giving people incredible love and um just whatever that thing is. When people go to Nordstrom's, they expect excellence and they expect service. By golly, they get it. If you've ever been to a Nordstrom store, I'm sure you will want to go back because the experience is wonderful. They even have sales racks in Nordstrom's, by the way. So if you haven't been there lately, you may want to go check it out, especially Christmas time. You might have some pretty cool stuff on the Nordstrom sale rack, so you can get a good deal on really good quality clothes and other stuff. They do not sell tire chains, though, by the way. A couple of ideas that I'll give you and talk with you about on this uh, culture that Nordstrom's has created. They basically said use good judgment in all situations in their pamphlet. There's not a whole lot of other rules. Well, let's talk about what that looks like. The customer experience is a strategy, not a department. There's not a director of customer loyalty. Maybe there is, who knows? But I'm thinking that the model is not about bureaucracy. The model is about using good judgment in all situations. There's no thick rule book. The sales associates are empowered to do whatever it takes to delight a customer. Returns without receipts, for instance, or personal follow-ups, handwritten notes. Handwritten notes? Who's doing that? Yeah. Curbside service before it was cool. Considering the fact that the customer experience is at forefront at all times, when people trust your people, they create trust with customers. So, who's your customer? We're talking about this, and I'm not sure exactly what your business is, but a lot of times people at the hierarchy, the tip of the pyramid, think that everybody's supposed to be working for them, when in truth, the Nordstrom's model is that it's flipped, where the people on top are serving the people who are serving the people, taking care of the staff, the people that interface with the public. And depending upon what your model is, you may want to look at that and see, are you treating your staff like leaders, and are you empowering them to do what they need to do so your business thrives? Companies obsessed with policies and procedures, all this dollar policy, are going to lose customers. Companies, on the other hand, who are obsessed with people, gain loyalty. I'm just thinking of one of the big box stores. Costco is where we go. Uh, we've been in there without a receipt. We've gotten a refund, and it's pretty easy company to deal with from that perspective. And even when they have a glitch, which I've had recently, they made it right. They took care of it eventually. It was, hassle calling people and talking to people and that, but they made it right. So the truth is that if you want extraordinary results, you stop managing behavior of your people and start empowering judgment. Give them the power to make decisions. Give them the power to do the right thing, whatever the right thing is. It's not always the right thing to give somebody money back. It just depends on the situation, obviously. But just empower your people to make good judgment. Those stories are, they keep going and going and going. There's a story about the returned tire chain that this widow had given back to Nordstrom's, and Nordstrom's doesn't sell tire chains, but she got her money back without a receipt. So that's an urban legend that my guess is probably true. Secondly, employees are treated as entrepreneurs, not clerks. The Nordstrom business model insight: salespeople operate almost like small businesses. They're commission based. They have ownership of client relationships. They have personal client books, and they have incentive to build long-term loyalty, not focused on quick transactions. Nordstrom's, you see, doesn't just sell clothes. They build personal brands inside the brand. Lessons learned: people perform better when they feel ownership, not oversight. If they have a vested interest in that customer in front of them, they're going to treat that customer different. And if they don't, they're in the wrong bus. Micromanagement kills initiative. We know that. And autonomy fuels excellence. So let people know that you have their back and that you expect them to be leaders when they're out there on the job. You can't micromanage. Stop it. Train. There's a book out called Situational Leadership. And it doesn't mean that you can't be a leader in every circumstance. What it means is that you treat every individual that you have under your charge, who are your supervisees, differently depending on their level of leadership experience. And that's your job as a leader, to figure out what you need to be doing with them. Sometimes you need to show and tell, and sometimes you just need to go tell, and they'll do it. So in terms of a coaching translation, the disengagement that people have in your workforce isn't about a motivation. It's about ownership. Maybe they haven't taken charge of that post. I like to talk about this. The first general order in the Marine Corps is to take charge of this post on all government property in view. Well, maybe they haven't been given that privilege. Maybe they haven't been given that authority to do the right thing. So just an idea. Number three, service is a competitive advantage that's hard to copy. Nordstrom's business model is that anyone can copy pricing, anyone can copy products. They can't copy the culture. They can't copy the judgment-based decision-making. They can't do deep loyalty at the emotional level. Nordstrom's service stories about the returns, the overnight deliveries, the personal shopping miracles have become legend, and legends market better than ads. In fact, they're a lot less expensive. Lessons learned: what's the hardest to copy is what creates a lasting advantage. That lasting customer advantage, and having people there that you know, like, and trust, who can help you when you go in there, if you know them and they know you. The genius is rarely what you do, it's how you do it consistently. That speaks to Simon Sinek and Sinek's perspective that people don't buy what you do, they buy how you do it. Steve Jobs comes to mind when Sinek's talking about Steve Jobs. The iPhone's a nice phone. It's a phone. It's also a camera, but it's breaking the mold about what was going on before. And Steve Jobs obviously had something going, because the Apple revolution is here. People stand in line for hours to buy a new phone for anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500. It's crazy, but that's the idea. Long-term loyalty beats short-term optimization. Nordstrom routinely accepts short-term losses and returns extra service time, customer solutions, to protect the long-term relationships and their culture. They play the lifetime value game, not the quarterly spreadsheet game. Businesses that chase efficiency often lose the human connection, because trust compounds faster than transactions do. The coaching translation for me that comes is that the fastest way to lose alignment of your workforce is to prioritize metrics over meaning. You didn't do enough deals. You didn't do enough transactions. Yeah, but the transactions I did were wonderful. Yeah. And fifth, simplicity at the core enables complexity at the edge. If you get too bogged down in rules and regulations and policy, people don't have any room to make good, sound decisions based on the customer right in front of them. One rule gives infinite solutions. The director of the culture metrics was mentioning that they have 50,000 opportunities every day to make a difference in somebody's life. By keeping the core philosophy simple, Nordstrom allows complexity to be handled at the human level instead of through bureaucracy, which is great. Not a whole lot of red tape there. And the lesson learned is that clarity in the requirement for business creates freedom for the employee or that entrepreneur that's customer facing. So online genius takeaway from Nordstrom's is that Nordstrom provides an opportunity where people are trusted, customers are transformed, and the culture becomes the business model. Use good judgment in all situations. That's basically the handbook right there. Incredible opportunity for us to learn from Nordstrom's. Incredible opportunity because we need to be more focused, I think, as a country about service. Just seems like the service has gone out of the industry, all industries. Knowing that Gallup reported some years ago that 68% of the workforce is disengaged at some level. 68%. So that's because, in large part, they're not empowered. They don't know that they're leaders. They don't know that they can make good judgment on the job. And they're certainly in the wrong seat on the bus, or maybe they're on the right seat, but they haven't been empowered by that boss. So if you've got people that you're supervising, and especially in this time of Christmas stuff, uh, empower them. Your job will be a lot easier if you give them the go ahead to be leaders, to be adults, to be able to make decisions on the spot. What a great concept. Thank you, Nordstrom's, for having this great model. Thank you, Nordstrom's, for being a leader in the industry of service. It's a great model for all of us to follow. And regardless of where you are in life, be well and use good judgment in all situations. I'm Paul. My website is spreadyourgenius.com. I'm at 505-252-1224 if you want to get a hold of me. And I'll look forward to talking to you, hopefully in the near future, so we can see if we can work together. I help people get back on track if they're off track. I help people find out who they are. Not to change who they are, but to help them find out who they really are, who they've always been. And it was hiding behind that mask. That's the fun part for me, that I get to help people be all they could be. God bless you. We'll talk soon. Merry Christmas.